So the first book I'm going to start is Suddenly a Murder. I probably won't update tonight because it's quite late. I will most likely update in the morning. It is quite short, so we'll see how I get on with it tonight. Okay, so I don't think I did an update for Suddenly a Murder, but I read it all in one night because obviously it's short, and I decided to rate it a 2-star. The plot, like, it was a good plot and it could have been thought out more, but the reason why it's a 2-star is because I didn't really feel like anything with the characters. The characters were quite boring. They didn't really have anything exciting to them, but also the ending was so disappointing to me. And obviously I can't explain the ending because then obviously that would be a spoiler, but just what happens in the end is so disappointing to me. Like, it's like the most boring, plainest thing ever, and it just personally wasn't for me. I was expecting something more exciting, something shocking, and I wasn't. And so that is that. So I did rate it 2 stars. 2 stars for like the plot of it, and it was interesting until then, until the ending, and I was like, seriously, like, could you not think of anything better for the ending? Like, there's so much potential for this book. Okay, so unfortunately I forgot to do any updates or film anything for these books, but I'm going to try and put together my thoughts now and make some clips to try and make a vlog out of this, because I have been terrible about vlogging recently and I just need to get back into it. So this is what. So the first book I read was Night Pass by Leigh Bardugo, and this book I rated 3 stars. I also read it quite quickly considering how long it is and how packed and informational it is. I'm going to say I actually really enjoyed this concept for a fantasy. Galaxy Alex Stern is the most unlikely member of Yale's freshman class, a dropout and the sole survivor of a horrific unsolved crime. Alex was hoping for a fresh start, but her free ride comes with a catch. She has been tasked with monitoring Yale's secret society, notorious haunts of the rich and powerful. Now there's a dead girl on campus, and Alex is the only person willing to look deeper, because the society is of far more sinister and extraordinary than anyone ever imagined. They tamper with forbidden magic, they raise the dead, and sometimes they prey on the living. So just the synopsis in itself makes you so intrigued, and I would definitely say this book was so well done, considering I've read Leigh Bardugo before and all the books have been 1 star, but I was in a reading slump while reading Shadow and Bone and the Six of Crows series, so I am going to be rereading them, but this one personally for right now is my favourite, and I wasn't expecting to like it as much as I did, to be completely honest. So I did write a few thoughts which I'm going to say now. So I put that I had a hard time getting into it at first. I would definitely say the beginning of this book is very slow, but about 30 or 40% into the book, that is when things start to pick up and it starts to get intriguing and you start to get like more detail. But yeah, remember that the beginning is quite slow. Try and stick it out. Now I know that 30 or 40% might be too much for some people, but trust me, it's worth it in the end, in my opinion. After the 30 or 40% mark, it gets so much better. I also just want to say I will be reading the second book of this, which was, I think, Hellbent, because I'm hoping in this in Hellbent that will just jump straight into the action and kind of continue from this one, as in this one the build up was quite slow and a bit, I don't know, I just felt like it took a bit too long. So I'm hoping that maybe it will be a little bit quicker or just jump straight into it in the second book, and if that's the case, I know I'm going to love the second book more than this one. It took me a little bit of time to actually like the characters, but after like the 34% mark I actually really started to like Alex, and please mind the noise but I also really enjoyed the Yale Secret Society stuff about this book. I would definitely say that was my favourite part of it. Overall, I would recommend it. Now, you're probably thinking 3 stars, you know, but that's because of fantasy I find really hard to get into in general. 3 stars for fantasy for me is really, really good and a really good rating. So that is on that book. Okay, then I jumped straight into Kingdom of the Wicked, and this book I also rated 3 stars. I really enjoyed it. I read it in one sitting, which is definitely a new thing for me with a fantasy book. I really enjoyed this. I love the world building. It kept my attention all the way through, and there was definitely some shocking things that I wasn't expecting in this. Now, I have heard some people say that if the first book is kind of like an average book for you, or you didn't really like it, you'll love the third book, or vice versa. If you didn't like the third book, then you possibly loved the first book. And I'm definitely going to say that this book I did enjoy, hence the 3 stars, but I don't know, maybe I will like the third book more. I'm not sure. Now, the thing with fantasy books is once I read them, I can't really remember what happens in them. Like, I really struggle, because I struggle while reading. After I read them, I can't really remember what happens in it, or like details about what happens in it. So while I'm trying to explain this book right now, I'm like, what happened in this book? But the one scene that I do remember, I can't really say because it will be a spoiler, and obviously I don't want to spoil it. But all I know is that I recommend this book and the series in general, because I'm going to guess that the series is only going to get better, and with the way that this book ended, I can just imagine it getting better, you know. Highly recommend. I'm just going to leave it there for now, but like I said, this I rated 3 stars. I'm sorry that this vlog wasn't any better, but I will try my hardest to get better with the reading vlogs now. It's just I wanted to post this because it's part of the challenge, otherwise I would have scrapped it, and I was thinking about scrapping this, but I really didn't want to. Thank you for watching anyway. I really hope you enjoyed, and hope to see you in the next one. Bye.